Distinguished guests, speakers, and delegates, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here so early. We talked about risk yesterday. My risk today is trying the headset to see if we can get that to work, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about a company and a process and a system which is now working in Africa that may have applications for us here in Pakistan. Mobile operators, and I have a little bit of experience in this space, have failed pretty miserably in maximizing the value of the infrastructure that they've put in place. That's one way to say that we've put hundreds of millions of dollars in the development of networks, including very high-speed networks, 4G and 5G, but we've yet to come anywhere close to maximizing the use of these networks because we've failed to address the demand side of this business. In particular, we've created this huge supply. Every tower is a factory for megabytes and minutes and moments, but yet very few of our clients in markets like Africa and Pakistan actually have access to smartphones that give them the ability to use these networks and to benefit from them, delivering on the promise of these networks. Basically, this limits people's ability to actually thrive in the economy and make contributions, and to give a proper return on the investment that mobile operators are giving and that society gives in giving us permission to build these networks in our markets around the world. So Watu is a company that was created 10 years ago. 4 guys from Latvia came to Kenya, decided to do traditional microfinance work. And they were in Mombasa. They were doing simple microfinance for groups of people, mostly women. And they started doing motorcycles because these young guys never owned the asset of the work. And about 2.5 years ago, they started looking at smartphones because it was a real opportunity. Nobody had been able to crack the ability to fund and finance smartphones so that the bottom of the pyramid could have access is that they had the right to have service too. So with that in mind, they started building a model. And that model was tested until 2023, and about mid-2023 started to implement, and in 2024 started to scale. And so this is a bit the story of this model, and there may be opportunities to do it in other parts of the world. So the model has been massively successful. It's in 8 countries in Africa and growing right now. Watu has 3,000 employees. Every day, 10,000 transactions are done. Loan transactions are done by Watu. Wildly skewed towards mobile phones, not motorcycles. In fact, we're starting to cut down on motorcycles until e-bikes come into the market because they're much faster and easier to manage. About 3.1 million assets have been financed. Of that, focus on the 2.5 million for smartphones, and that's essentially since 2024. 2.5 million smartphones to people who otherwise would not have them. About 9 million lives have been impacted, and the company has raised over its lifetime $200 million in debt and has dispersed over $1 billion worth of loan and is successful and growing. So we build digital connectivity through smartphones. That's the key model of the company. There's a few things that make it different. We only deal with one kind of smartphone, one brand of smartphone, and we vet them very, very closely. There's a number of reasons we do that. One of them is the locking software that comes with this particular brand. It's extremely effective, and we've mastered it. We allow people to pay every day, so they don't care about the APR or the profit of the loan. They're paying 35 cents or 40 cents a day to have access to a smartphone, otherwise they would not have access to it. And that's highly aspirational. And this particular brand is highly aspirational. So we have a problem of managing not the demand, but managing the supply on our side. We do close relationships with mobile operators and mobile money services, so it's a completely cashless business. And currently today, we have about 1.5 million people using our app to manage their loan on a daily basis. It'll say for how long your phone will be unlocked until you make your next payment. You can make your next payment. If you don't make a payment, the phone locks. You can do customer care calls and you can pay with mobile money and the phone unlocks in 10 seconds. That's how we secure the debt. It's not perfect, but it works. So again, 2.5 million smartphones have been financed since 22. 50% of the customers, and this is the important part for our economy, 50% of the customers use their devices to earn a living. And that's really important for us as well because we're a social enterprise, not just a commercial enterprise. And we work directly with retailers that enroll in our program, and as long as they're selling an approved device that we have vetted to work with our systems and our locking mechanisms, then they can sell the devices and the model becomes very simple for them and very highly scalable for anybody who wants to do this. The onboarding is simple. We don't do any credit history, so half the bankers in the room have now fallen off their chair. We don't do any credit history whatsoever. You walk in, you have pulse. That's a good first step. You have a national ID or some form of ID. You have one phone number that you can call so in case we can't reach you. And if you pay 30% down payment on the phone, which is usually $25 to $30, affordable, it's what you would pay to buy a secondhand phone on the market. You get a brand new, warranted 24-month phone from this vendor. Usually 85% are in the bottom tier of the range of those phones. But they're all highly featured 4G phones. Key to us was mastering the technology and building real-time data systems that allowed us to figure out if somebody was messing with us. So there is portfolio at risk, but if you have 10,000 retailers, if one retailer is messing with you, it'll show up immediately. You can shut them down and manage the risk. But we have portfolio at risk. And we use strong distributor partnerships. So we look at the very large distributors in the country, partner with them, get their best retailers. Because we want the best retailers because we can quickly exhaust our ability to finance by trying to get to everybody. The onboarding journey is between 20 and 30 minutes. Walk in, show us your ID, we take a pulse, yes, you're there, one phone number, pay, and immediately you can leave with your phone, with a SIM in it, and instructions on how to use it, and the phone is customized with our app and with Knox on it, and the asset is released immediately to the customer. And I'll give you an example right now in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We've been testing this for 6 months. We only have 4 stores in Kinshasa where we allow this to happen. We said we would be able to control the demand by having only 4 stores. What we didn't expect is the stores became a destination. And we have people queuing outside the stores, trying to get the quota for that day that we're allowing that store to do while we continue to test the system. It's not venture funded. The original shareholders of this business, they all own 100% of that equity now, and we do it all through debt. So we pay a premium on debt in the market. We earn our way into that by putting our own money in, and then we test the market, we prove the case, and then we go to commercial or high net worth individuals to get debt in that market, paying a premium for that debt, allowing us to cover the portfolio at risk, the cost of that debt, cost of operations, and a healthy profit for the shareholders. It works, it's disciplined. We only do a limited number of devices, but they're highly in demand, and we do not spread from there. It doesn't mean we might not do other devices beyond this one, but this is the one we trust. We have a close relationship with Samsung in Korea. They have their staff with us in Africa as we work through the locking mechanism, and the very creative ways our African brothers and sisters can mess with us and trying to circumvent our systems, and we'll have to do, if we decide to come here, the same thing. The playbook is very simple. We're very humble. We try, we test, we go around. It may take us 5 or 6 months to get comfortable before we scale in a market. DRC took us almost 9 months before we started to scale a few weeks ago. We build very close partnership with distributors and telcos, and specifically mobile money players, because everything here is cashless. So what happens? We go to the markets for international money now, and they say, yeah, Africa, that's cool, but there's a bit of a discount on what we can give you for Africa. Come to the rest of the world, please. We've been pushed by our financiers to go outside of Africa, the people who lend us money. So now we're opening in Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, and that blue circle over there on the right-hand side is the reason I'm here today. Is I want, and I've been pushing my colleagues to move and come to Pakistan with this model for about a year. And we've decided that we're going to bring this model here to Africa and to Pakistan, and we are going to start building that over the next 6 months. We have the similar problem as they have in the rest of the world here. Women are less likely to own smartphones. The informal workplace does not have access to smartphones broadly because they don't have the cash to do it, and we want to provide them with those tools. Affordability is a massive challenge. Telcos and retailers already serve these customers so that we have a distribution model ready to go. And for me, and I want to make this very clear, this is a private sector initiative. I know that the government has strong focus on bringing smartphones to the market. They can't fund it. Okay, they cannot fund it. This has to be private sector led. We don't want a subsidy. We don't want a tax break. We don't want regulatory easement. We don't want any of that. What I've asked the state for is to get things out of our way, if we need things to be get out of our way, that things are impeding our ability to do so. But we don't want anything special. We will support the intent and the program for the government of Pakistan while we do this, and we hope to be able to start operations the end of this year, beginning of next year, depending on our ability to get all the approvals in place. So we believe in Pakistan. And I've brought my partners here already. They were here about 2 months ago. They're coming in June. And of course, I show them Karachi, I show them Islamabad. I brought them to Shigar, I brought them to Skardu. I'm bringing them to Hunza next time. And they've, you know, these are smart guys, and once they see on the ground what there is here, they fall in love, like some of us from outside have fallen in love over the years. So I expect that we'll be in operation here, inshallah, by the third or fourth quarter this year if things work out. So the purpose of this presentation, and I think this is it, if you have any questions, if you have any queries, take down the information on the screen or come and see me today. The most important thing I need from you is the skeptics, the criticism, the ones that are going to tell me why it will not work here in Pakistan, why our hackers are better than all the other hackers on the planet, why you're mad for not doing choices. 1 minute and 50 seconds, I'm good. Thank you. And that's my objective today, that's all. So please come and tear it apart, bring it to me, bring all the issues you might have. That will be the most important thing for me coming out of this meeting, and thank you very much.